If I said, you know what, I'm not going to work on the weekend, I don't think that's fair to you guys. And so to me, I have an issue with the entire thing. Hey, Kyrie is a heck of a player, but to only play in road games, I don't think it's fair to the game, number one. I don't think it's fair to the game, but I think more importantly, I don't think it's fair to the team.
Fat, drunk, and stupid is no way to go through life, son.
Hey, what's up, guys? Jasper Gonzo here. Another What's Next. Excuse me. Happy Wednesday. My apologies yesterday for not getting my daily out. Was having, shall we say, technical difficulties from the mouse to the camera going offline to audio. So hopefully I got everything straightened out. But with that being said, today's episode, we're going to delve into sports. And one Charles Barkley. Lately, he is no fan of one Kyrie Irving. Yes, that same Kyrie Irving who refused to get the poke because common sense, lack of data, or shall we say tons of data, as we now know, the efficacy in regards to these vaccines. So Kyrie Irving is not a fan. The NBA did everything in its power to keep Kyrie Irving at bay. Or shall we say the state of New York, who the team he plays for, the Brooklyn Nets, did everything in their power to keep him on the bench. They did more to keep him on the bench than any coach could ever have. But being that so many NBA players on that Brooklyn Nets team have gotten the coof, they said, Kyrie, can you help us? Can you please, can you help us? So Kyrie Irving starts to play again. Charles brings up Australia for some unknown fucking reason. The New York Post. Charles Barkley rips the Nets' Kyrie Irving over his part-time status. For Kyrie Irving's refusal to be vaxxed during to the Nets relenting and allowing their point guard to return on a part-time basis, Barkley has all sorts of problems with Brooklyn. After Irving's season debut with the Nets win over Indiana, I think he was like 22, 23 points. You could see there was a little bit of rust on him, but he started getting into the flow, and he had a pretty decent game. The TNT analyst ripped both star and team on Thursday for enabling this unconventional marriage. Of course, this was last week. I have an issue with the entire thing Barkley said on Inside the NBA. Kyrie's a heck of a player. But to only play in road games, I don't think it's fair to the game, number one, but I think it's more importantly, I don't think it's fair to the team. The Nets agree through October, November, and halfway through December, until the COVID cases started spiking. More than half the team was in health and safety protocols. They announced the unvaccinated Irving, who is not allowed to play in New York because of local vaccine and, of course, draconian mandate bullshits, could rejoin the squad so they could add an additional player. Of course, by the time he debuted, Brooklyn was whole again, with the exception of Harris, but let's hear it from Charles himself. And I'll start it right there.
Here from Jersey, it means a lot of energy. He came in with a lot of energy. He played well. They were down for a while, and they came back. Big three looked really good, and he looked started off a little bit, but then once he got going and got flowing, he's definitely been working out with the colleges and working at local gyms. He looked really good.
22 points, 10 of those coming in the fourth quarter as they came back. Why the look on your face here?
And here we go.
When you're on a team, we're not golf, we're not tennis. Those are individual sports. When you're on a team, you have to make sacrifices for the team to win. Not trying to be this do-good dude and whatever, but I think when you're on a team, you have to make sacrifices for the rest of the team. I don't understand. Listen, if you want to make a political point, which is silly and stupid, and not get vaccinated, that's fine and with me.
Now, let me break that up. Silly and stupid. Political stance. If Barkley would have done his homework and watched the Instagram post that Kyrie Irving first did regarding his issue regarding getting the poke, he would have seen that it's not a political stance. It's a liberty and freedom stance. It's an individuality stance. It's per the Constitution stance. It's per a human being stance to say, hey, I don't want this. Don't force it on me. Because if you force it on me, the more I'm going to resist. And especially when you talk about the lack of data, or as we now know that there is tons of data regarding the efficacy of these vaccines and how potentially, and let me put big caps on potentially, how dangerous these vaccines could be. We know the side effects, but I think Charles seriously should have did his homework regarding that aspect of Kyrie Irving.
But I don't think it's fair for me. Okay, I'll give you an example. I love working with you guys. We work on Thursday night now. If I said to you guys, well, I'm only going to work certain nights, like during the playoffs, that'd be a better example. We're on every night except Friday during the playoffs. If I said, you know what, I'm not going to work on the weekend, I don't think that's fair to you guys. And so to me, I have an issue with the entire thing. Hey, Kyrie is a heck of a player.
Would Charles like to explain that comparison? Kyrie didn't have a choice, Charles. New York took it from him, and the NBA tried to take it from him. There was no choice in the matter. Kyrie never said, I never wanted to play.
But to only play in road games, I don't think it's fair to the game, number one. I don't think it's fair to the game. But I think more importantly, I don't think it's fair to the team.
Well, I would agree if it was a different scenario. I think the vaccination is more than a political stance at times, too. It is
It's a personal choice.
It's a personal choice.
Thank you, Ernie.
And it's not him saying that I won't show up. It's the state of New York saying that you can't show up.
Thank you, Kenny.
Shout out to Australia.
Yeah, you know.
Shout out to
Now
Australia,
here
who said,
is where it gets
NOVAK
really
Djokovic is
stupid.
In the conversation with Nadal and Federer and Pete Sampras as the greatest tennis players ever. Like, no, you just can't come here and play tennis.
Let me stop it right there. One, Australia tennis gave Novak the permission. They granted his exemption to play in Australia tennis. Fact. Number two, Australia is a trash of a continent right now. They're a trash of a government, shall I say. Not the people. The government is trash. Fact. When you are basically imprisoning your citizens and separating them from vaxxed versus unvaxxed, that's bullshit. That's garbage. That is not a quote, democracy in how we understand, how those with common sense or those with critical thinking believe regarding democracies, of how they should be ran. Again, somebody should have handed a memo to Charles and said, this is what Australia is doing to its people right now, but yet you're giving high fives. What the fuck?
They have very strict rules. They have probably the lowest COVID-related stuff in the world. They're like, no, you just can't come here for 2 weeks and win millions of dollars playing tennis. Shout out to them for saying.
I mean, I don't know if it's a shout out or just.
I was gonna cut it off. Let me play it out.
If you're ready to go through the consequences, right? But if you're ready to take the consequences for whatever your action you're going to do,
yeah. But
then like he is in tennis, and like Kyrie said, well, I'm not going to get paid, and I'm not going to be here.
Well, he was getting paid, number one, so that's not.
Well, I'm just saying, if you're willing to take the consequences, this vaccination. The only thing I get what you're saying, Chuck. I just feel vaccination, yes or no, is a different environment. It's not.
I understand what Kenny was trying to do. I think Kenny should have said, listen, at the end of the day, it's about personal choice. It's about personal freedoms. You don't want something that's foreign injected into your body and then not knowing the consequences thereof. Excuse me. And the reason why Charles brings that stupid ass comment up, and we are going to jump right into this comes out of Outkick. Novak, father urges people to fight the good fight. Now, this was during the incarceration, shall we say. After a judge ruled that Novak can stay in Australia to participate in the Australian Open, this was the update. His father, of course, now spoke out. I'm not going to play that. The real gist here is that his son should have the freedom to make his own decision regarding the vaccine. If we take a look at the comment section in his tweet, you can't help but notice a common denominator in nearly every replay. Novak has the right to remain unvaxxed, but he doesn't have the right to go wherever he wants to with zero ramifications. Really? Doesn't he, though? Seems obvious that telling people that a decision will directly impact their participation in a society is the definition of discrimination. We're essentially allowing society to bully those who disagree with prevailing narrative into living disrupted lives. Want to participate in arguably the biggest tournament of all year? You have to inject your body with a substance you would otherwise refuse. One, Charles is an idiot. I love you, Charles, but you're a complete effing knucklehead in regarding to both Kyrie Irving and NOVAK DJOKOVIC. They both have their rights as individuals to make decisions based on what's best for them from a health standpoint. I'm sure they've done their homework, just as Aaron Rodgers did, just as Joe Rogan had done. They've done their homework, and they used therapeutics. I'm sure they both believe in therapeutics as well. But to force, whether you are a government, a tennis body, a basketball league, to force these decisions on you, and we're going to hear, yes, they're private. No. As a private company, you don't have the right to force your employees to do something they don't want to do. Because as I said, or shall I say, as I'll say, the more you push, the more they're going to resist. But not because I'm not going to do it. It's because of data, lack of data, health concerns, religious exemptions. These are the things that all have to be taken into consideration. And I never thought I'd see Charles go down this way after he blasted the woke mob earlier last year, shall I say? Or shall I say late last year? But, wow. And once again, I will quote Charles, and Charles, use a knucklehead. And with that being said, I'm Jasper Gonzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more just like this? Please leave a comment below, like it, share it, subscribe to it. And we'll catch you guys next time. Peace.